Hello and welcome to our live stream today for COMIX.SG. Very warm welcome to everyone who's joined us early today. You guys are really the early birds. I see like Sabrina she posted a comment like half an hour ago. So thanks so much, Seb. And Isaac is here also. Thanks for joining us, Isaac. Yeah, today is a very quick live stream session to share with everyone what COMIX.SG has been getting up to. Today we have with us Viancy. Viancy, of course, has been working with the team since day one, and she's going to be part of the team. Hi, Viancy.
Hi.
Yeah, and I'm Linging, of course. Yeah, so we're kind of representing the COMIX.SG team. And today, let's go very quickly. Oops. Okay. All right. So today, the topic is Supercharged Singapore Comics. The reason for that is because we are pumping out a series of initiatives in 2022, and there's going to be lots of new things for both comic creators and their comic lovers alike. So I hope that everyone who's here today, if you're a creator or a reader, just drop us a message in the comments to let us know who you are. We're really happy to have you here, and we'll like to invite you to join us on all these different initiatives and platforms that we're starting in 2022. Okay, so let's go into the slides. Okay, so both me and Biancy are here. You can see our pretty faces at the side. So very simply, there's a question that I guess a lot of people might have, which is what is COMIX.SG? COMIX.SG is really, to us, it's an online home for Singaporean comics. That was how it was. That was not how it was conceptualized at the start. When we started it, it was meant to be an online directory for comic artists. Hi Ryan, thanks for joining us. Oh, you're the Crimson Star. Wow. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really Comics.SG, like I was saying, is a way for us to try to bridge the comics community online. And how we did that at first was with the online directory for comic creators, which is on Comics.SG, of course. And then we are now going to push out a few new initiatives, which I will now introduce to you guys. All right. So the very first initiative that we wanted to talk about is the Mentorship Program. So I know that there are a lot of new creatives, new comic creators in Singapore who are starting out, and we could all use more support. Okay, so I think what we wanted to do was to be able to introduce our new emerging artists to more seasoned veterans from the industry, and to help to create more opportunities for them to develop their work. You know, so if you have a project that you're currently working on, you know, maybe a story that you have already done a few chapters for, I think this mentorship program is really for you. It's designed for creators who have a work in progress and want to take it to the next level. And the important thing here is that the deadline is on 26th December, so we don't have a lot of time. And today, the very big announcement that we're going to make is introducing who our mentors are. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to make this bigger so that everyone can have a look. But today, we're really, really excited that we're announcing the mentors, Andy and Angie. Andy, for most of you, especially those who are part of the Comic Con crowd, you guys would be totally, I'm sure you guys are very familiar with Andy. He's one of the most kind of like, I guess like a high profile Marvel DC type style of comic artist that we have living in Singapore today. And then also Angie. Angie is a wonderful children's book illustrator and comic creator. She has a lot of web comics on her Instagram page, Elo by Angie. And those are two of our mentors that we have lined up for the mentorship program. So this is going to be really exciting. You know, they are going to be able to help to coach younger artists, emerging artists in different fields. And of course, we have one last mystery mentor, which has yet to be announced, but we will try our best to announce it very, very soon. So stay tuned for more updates, of course. So that's the mentorship program. And frankly, with the mentorship program, I am expecting that there are some creators today who are watching the live stream who have questions about this. So I think it would be great if you can leave your comments quickly for us so that we can get back to it during the Q&A section later, because you don't have that much time to apply. Okay, so moving along, we have an anthology that's going to be published in 2022. So folks like Seb, Ryan, I'm sure like you guys might have something to contribute to the anthology. We really want to include as many artists as possible, and there are going to be. All right. Okay. So the theme of the comics anthology is going to be nice to meet you. So it's really like the first issue of our comics anthology, and we want to have as many creators as possible submitting their works. And this can be 1 page to 16 pages long. So we really appreciate it. If you're, let's say you're a full-time illustrator or graphic designer, but you create comics on a personal just for fun or on a personal Instagram page or something like that, you are completely welcome to join the anthology as well. The only restrictions that we have is that we're looking for new and unpublished works. And of course, we want the works to be good for a general audience. So we reserve the right to remove works that are unsuitable. So for this comics anthology, we're anticipating submissions from people like the established comic artists in Singapore, as well as the more, like the emerging, very like Instagram tapas, webtoon style of comic creators. So, whether you're completely new or you're very, very seasoned, this is a great opportunity for you to just introduce yourself to the comic scene, the comics community, and of course, create a really vibrant and diverse anthology that showcases like the full scale of Singapore's amazing comics creations. Okay, so that's the comics anthology. And today, Viancy, our very, very special guest, will be introducing Red Dot Comics Den, which is the new video podcast project from COMIX.SG. Okay, Viancy, over to you.
Hello. Yes. Okay. So this video podcast project, I'm very excited to have been invited by Linging to be the host for this video podcast. It is a video podcast about making, creating, and loving comics here in Singapore, and it'll be about 6 episodes long and possibly longer depending on your the reception. So if you guys like it a lot, we might continue to have more episodes of this. Each episode will have a theme and different guests who we will kind of talk to about, and then we'll get to learn sort of like depending on what theme it is, we'll kind of learn about what they have to say and maybe even their artist journey. And we have an upcoming sort of episode where we might talk if we want to learn more from our mentors, learn about their journey. We might also be reaching out to our mentors to have an episode with them as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Our first episode for this podcast will be dropping at before the end of December. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and then stay tuned for that episode to drop. So it's really, really soon. And so it's very much kind of like a podcast about discovering local comics together. So that's what we're really trying to do. It's very kind of, we're hoping for it to be a very participative podcast as well. We want to reach out to you guys. So if you have any sort of burning questions about the local comics community, or if you have anyone you want to see on the podcast, you can check us out on Instagram. We also have an all-inclusive Discord channel for local comic creators and lovers. So if you want, you can join our Discord channel and reach out to us and send us your questions and your feedback as well. So it's very much a back and forth, and we'll be learning together all about the local comics community.
Yeah, thanks so much for that intro, Viancy.
No problem.
Just so everyone knows, we finished shooting our first episode yesterday, which was really a lot of fun, and we can't wait for you guys to join us.
Yeah, that photo is from the set of our first episode. It was really nice and cozy, and honestly I thought the atmosphere is really, really great. So I'm super excited to see that first episode drop.
Yeah, and I think also like for those of our friends who are joining us on YouTube today, this is what we created the YouTube channel for, is for this video podcast that we're creating. So make sure that you subscribe so that you can see more updates and future uploads from us that's coming out over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yes, we do have Ava Comics in the photo, and we will talk about her a little bit during the episode, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to see, if you want to see like what we have to say about Ava, make sure you check us out that first episode.
Yeah, I think this, as you guys can see very clearly, as in the first episode was really like very, very broad look at a lot of comic books and a lot of comic creators in Singapore. So, if you spot anything familiar in the photo, yeah, I think you should tune in and just see what we say about those books.
It's a very, very chill session. We're really just kind of like talking to each other about local comics and kind of talking a little bit about like the history of comics in Singapore and our relationship to the two local comics, both like in our past and like how we sort of and what local comics like its place is in our current lives right now. So it's very we also talk about like some of the works that you see on the table and talk a little bit and introduce like what we like about them. So make sure you kind of like check that out as well if you're interested to know more about local comics here in Singapore.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, VNC.
No problem.
I'm seeing like we're getting some questions in the comments. So thank you so much for putting in your questions. We will come to it at the Q&A section after this. So I'm just going to go through a couple more slides and then it's really going to be free and easy and we'll talk about all these questions that you guys brought up. So like Isaac, XX, feel free to put more questions in the chat. We'll definitely get to it as quickly as we can. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly run through some of the ongoing initiatives that we have in case you guys didn't know. One is the Artist and Webcomic Directory, which I mentioned earlier, which is on the COMIX.SG website. And then after that, of course, we have a new Instagram page. We know that a lot of comic artists and comic readers are on Instagram, so do help us out. Give our account a follow. We're very, very new, but we definitely appreciate like everyone joining us over the last couple of weeks and days. Right now, what we're doing is mostly kind of comics.sg related announcements, as well as like greatest hits of local comic creations. So it's going to be really diverse and really interesting. And make sure you do give us a follow when you can. And then also the Discord server, okay, a bit self-explanatory, so I didn't put a screenshot, but do join our Discord server. It's very new and there's a lot of things going on. We're hoping to run a WIP Wednesday project. This means that, if you're submitting for the anthology or if you're going to be applying for the mentorship program, I think you're going to find that the Discord server is going to be a great place for you to find some support, find some people that you can hang out with while you're doing your drawing. And, we have channels going on for, say, like story development, industry knowledge, and things like that. So we're looking forward to having more people join us and keeping this Discord really fun and exciting. I will drop the link in the chat really soon. Yeah. Okay, so that was all actually in terms of the things that we really needed to talk about today. And I know that there's already quite a bit of questions coming up, so let's get to that now. Yeah, so I think Viancy and I will take turns to answer. Viancy will answer the stuff more related to the podcast. So if you guys have questions for Viancy specifically, feel free to let us know in the comments. Okay, so all right, let's go into Q&A. Right, so thanks Isaac for the question. So how is the mentorship program going to help new curators? This is a really good question. I think this is something that I think Singapore Comic Con has been supporting over the past few years with their work in progress program. So we know that there's always emerging artists in Singapore that are looking for guidance and even just like some editing and coaching when it comes to their comic creations. And for us, this mentorship program is really tailored for that. So the mentorship program is actually like a 10-week long program with weekly meetings. So it's quite intensive actually. And the goal for this mentorship program, of course, is for you to develop a work in progress together with industry expert. So, this key work is going to, we basically want you to finish this work, at least finish part of it, and also complete it to a higher level than you would be able to achieve by yourself. So I think that's how the mentorship program helps the creators. And of course, a mentor relationship is something that you can that you can always build on as you go along in your career. We don't see this as like something limited to just a 10-week program. It's definitely something of more like a opportunity for you to broaden your horizons and become more seasoned in the industry as well. And of course, if you complete something during the mentorship program, it will be published in the anthology. We'll be very happy to kind of consolidate these two projects in that way. So thanks, Isaac, for that question. And I think Isaac asked, there are more questions as well. Okay, so this one I guess is for Viancy, talking about the video podcast. Is it going to be like a comic review?
It won't depend. It won't really. Do you mean like the first episode, or like do you mean in general? Technically, for the first episode, because we do talk a little bit about some of the comics that we read, like maybe in our childhood or like recently. So there is some elements of a comic review, but that doesn't really take place for like across all the other episodes, because each episode kind of has its specific theme. So that definitely is still it's because the podcast itself is very much kind of also about a journey of discovery. So we're also looking at new and interesting topics that maybe you guys would want to feature as well. So this is something that we are still kind of working towards. And these are themes that we will also explore with potential guests that we want to talk about. So it's not always a comics review. There may be some comic review elements in each episode, depending on what we're talking about.
I think the important thing is that it's not going to be like one episode, one comic book. I think we'll try to talk about topics, rather than say like focusing on just like say reviewing one title at a time. Yeah. So thanks, Isaac, for that question. We're very excited about this video podcast. Like I think like what Viancy said earlier about it being a journey and like us exploring the world of Singaporean comics. We don't really have a set path yet about how it's going to go, right? so we're looking forward to having people join us for the podcast and leave us comments and let us know your feedback and ideas also. Thank you for that question. Okay, and then XX, thanks for the question. Is there a restriction for number of submission for the anthology? Actually, right now, I think we have not, like we basically restricted to one submission per creator. But that means that, let's say if you are in a comic studio, like, say you're in a partnership with a few friends and you guys want to create comics together, we would count that as a separate creator. But let's say if you have one pen, one pen name, then you can only submit one work under that pen name. So there's a restriction in terms of the one creator has one submission. And we're not being very selective for the anthology. So we really want to give everyone a chance to be seen. So you don't need to say like submit 5 works and then hope that one of them wins or something like that. There's no prize. It's more about consolidating and collecting works from many, many different artists together. So there's no need to submit like say many, many works. Okay, and then moving along to other questions. Okay, so the anthology, can we publish the work for the anthology on our socials? The answer to this is yes, but only after the anthology has been published. So because the anthology will be available in print and in digital, so we'll ask that you don't sort of like leak the content of the anthology, but after it's been printed and distributed, like you are welcome to post all your works and share them with your followers on social media. Yeah, so that opportunity is definitely there. Okay, and then Ryan asked the similar question about the anthology. So yeah, one story per curator. Unless you have, I think, let's say Crimson Star, I think you guys have it's like a team, right? So if you guys submit something under Crimson Star and then Ryan, you want to submit something as Ryan, yeah, that's totally welcome for you. Okay, so that's about the anthology. Okay, so let's come back to some questions about the mentorship. Are students welcome? Yes, students are really welcome. Please join the mentorship program, but please make sure that you can juggle the work because there are meetings every week for 10 weeks straight. So hopefully you can keep up with the deadlines. And then other thing, okay, Comics.SG is based in Singapore. Yes, we do accept works from other countries, but small technicality, like, you would have to be a Singaporean citizen or PR, or at least a long-term resident of the country to submit something. The reason being that, to be very technical, like, it's really because of the funding structure of this project. So we do hope to have as many Singaporean artists as possible. Although our definition for Singaporean is quite open, it's not infinitely open. Yeah, so we hope that Singaporean creators, if you identify as Singaporean, let us know. We'll have a look at it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Anthology distributed as in on sale, that kind. Yes, it will be on sale. Of course, for those of you who are more familiar, like, we work with Asia Pac Books. Asia Pac Books will distribute and sell the anthology. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we have some questions related to the podcast. So Viancy, I'll hand these to you. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. There will be guest comic artists for the podcast, which is what we're looking forward to. So we'll definitely be inviting guest comic artists as well for actually we're most likely got, like, each episode we will be talking to like a different member of like the comics community, so they can be they can be an artist, or maybe they are someone who is part of the industry but maybe may not create. I think we are keeping opportunities for our to look out for these guests quite open. So if you guys have any particular creator in mind that you think like might be interesting, maybe maybe if it's possible, we could reach out to them, and if things align, then maybe we could even feature them for the podcast. So you could let us know on Instagram and Discord if you want. You're muted.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say, like, I saw that a couple more people have joined us on the live stream. So thanks if you're joining us in the middle. Go ahead to the start and rewatch on the replay. And of course, for those people who are joining us or watching the replay, don't worry, you can still ask us your questions, but you can do so on, say, like, DMing us on Instagram, or joining our Discord server and participating in the chats there. So that's quite important. I'm going to just like run this at the bottom on the banner right now. And yeah, coming into the questions again. All right. Yeah, thanks for the questions. Okay, what's the platform for the podcast? We have mentioned YouTube and Spotify so far. Yeah, okay. I think right now we only have YouTube and Spotify planned, but if you guys listen to podcasts on other channels, feel free to suggest. We will consider how we can feed it in. Actually, Viancy, like, because you listen to quite a lot of podcasts, right? Like, are there other channels that we should be looking at?
There's iTunes as well, if you want to put that on iTunes. But I think that is mostly audio. I'm not too sure about whether they do video. Maybe we'll have to look into that, because I don't really look at iTunes podcasts. I'm more of a Spotify listener also, and then YouTube as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's the bulk of, like, because we are a video podcast, so there is some while of course there is a very audio element, there's also a bit of a visual element. So we are hoping to look for platforms that can support video. Though I think if it's possible we might also drop an audio podcast, like the audio version of the podcast.
Okay, one sec, my laptop was dying. Okay. Yeah, I think some people mentioned in the chat. So someone said iTunes, Seb suggested SoundCloud. Yeah, we will. I think Apple might be a bit more tricky, but SoundCloud we can definitely get it on SoundCloud. So thanks for suggesting that. Yeah, it's kind of slipped our mind, but I know a lot of people are using SoundCloud. Okay, and then I think so today's session isn't going to be very long. So of course, like, if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We'll be on for another, like, say 5-10 minutes. So don't wait. Just, hit that comment button and let us know what you're wondering. Oh, and Ross. Okay, thanks, Rossman, for joining us. Okay, this is a question about the anthology. Okay, your story still need time to develop. Okay, I think this is probably a very familiar situation for many of the creators tuning in today. Yeah, after the anthology, there's still opportunities out there. We plan to do this anthology every year. So if you can't make it for the first year, definitely try again for the second year. We really look forward to like expanding the anthology and having like interesting new people joining it every year. So there's always going to be new artists out there, and we'll be very happy to welcome you batch after batch. Yeah, thanks a lot for the question, Rosman. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, and then okay, Ryan's question about whether sharing the pre-record. Yeah. So anyone who's wondering if they can share the YouTube link, please do. Yeah, we're really starting out here. This is like Comics.SG is something that's very new. And we really hope that we can get as much support from the comics communities, especially like the creators side. So we want to talk about your work, and we'll really appreciate it if you can help to also like share the message. And that way you'll be helping to support other creators as well, and all of us can grow together as a community. Yeah, so thanks, Ryan, for joining us. Very honored to have you with us here today. Okay, I'm just going to quickly check that I didn't miss anybody for the question and answer. Okay. Yeah, like I see earlier. Okay, I think, yeah, like we've kind of discussed most of the questions that we received earlier. And yeah, thanks again for tuning in and for leaving us your questions. I'm just going to stay online a little bit longer to get the just in case you guys have more questions going on. But yeah, I'm just going to highlight some random comments now. And then we'll most likely close off in 2 minutes at 2:30 p.m. So like say right now, I'm just going. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know who else in Singapore heard that, but there's thunder and lightning outside. Yeah, so as just like closing off this session today, just to summarize what we went through, just join our Discord. Really, like follow us on Instagram, join our Discord server. That's where all the chats and updates are happening. It's going to be getting more and more active over the coming weeks. And also, like, I'm just going to flash the okay, I'm going to flash the slide again about the mentorship program so that everyone can have a quick look again. So the mentorship program deadline is on the 26th of December. So that is actually really, really soon. So if you have more questions about the mentorship program and you want to apply, please reach out to us. Especially those who joined the Comic Con Work in Progress scheme. Like we are looking at your works, and we're really hoping that you can join the mentorship program with the same works in progress. Yeah, so that's kind of the main highlight for today. I'm going to end the broadcast in about 1 minute. So yeah, any last words, guys? Okay, thanks, Rosman. Yeah. So I mean, it's been a really nice. I think it's been a really busy few weeks for us working on this. And thanks so much to everyone who tuned in today and asked questions. I hope that today we managed to give you a very quick look at all the things that we're doing next year. Let's stay in touch on the Discord community and on our Instagram channel. And we look forward to releasing more exciting updates on those channels very soon. And thanks again to Singapore Comic Con for hosting our live stream on their SGCC online as well. Thanks, Paul and team. And of course, thank you, Viancy, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you,
It's
Ling Ying, as well.
yeah, it's like it's well, I'm really looking forward to watching the video podcast as well as the coming episodes and working on it with you. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us here today. Thank you and
Thank
have a
you.
great weekend, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.